Hello lovely people, it's Cara here and I am so mad. So I'm back with you again for another update. Probably a little bit of a shorter video from me today, but that's alright. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you're watching. Welcome if you're here for the first time. Lovely to have you here, and thank you for all those lovely people that have been here all along. Lovely to have you here. And I'm sure as you're all aware, because I mention it every time I see you pretty much, I do respond to all comments that you leave, and I love to hear from you from all around the world. So don't be shy, leave me a quick comment, let me know what you think about my shorts, what? About my makes and ideas, all that sort of stuff. I have no idea why the word short just came out of my mouth then. Better than some of the words that have come out of my mouth, that's for sure. But anyway, so it's going to be, it's quite a sad weekend, isn't it? We're heading in towards Her Majesty's funeral just after the weekend. So end of an era. That's one thing for sure about England, isn't it? That history plays a massive part in our lives, as it does in all countries, I know, but we are right now forming part of the history that our kids and grandkids, grandkids in my case, will talk about, which is fascinating. So I feel like I'm in a film set, especially with all the mad things that are happening in the world right now. But anyway, what are my plans? Thank you for all the lovely comments about my recent makes, including this one. As the weather is still warm enough to wear stuff, I'm going to continue to try and look semi-summery right up until I can no longer live without a cardigan. It's still quite warm here, which is amazing. Fingers crossed that stays, but it's not going to, is it? Inevitably. Just like we need the rain, we also need a change of seasons. So, with that in mind, some of my makes are sort of, sensing towards that. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's a couple of things here that I'm going to talk to you about in order to make sure I actually crack on and make them. Not really any particular order, but I have 4 things cut and ready to sew. And so I thought I'd just take you through those today. The first one is some Aina trousers from Named Clothing. Now, I made the Aina trousers, it's going to be March, April time, I reckon. I had a bit of a session of making a few pairs. So I'm going to try and find the pictures of them. So I made this glorious pair of wide leg Aina trousers. A-I-N-A. I've yet to hear anyone say it out loud, so I hope I'm saying that right. And they are superb. They're very cleverly constructed because you've got 1, 2, 3 parts of the waistband. So you've got front right, front left, and then you've got a back piece. And they're connected at the sides with a button on either side, which is incredibly clever. And the construction is, making trousers is quite detailed anyway, isn't it? But it is a super clever construction process. I chose not to use a button on my second pair just because I didn't really need to be able to access them in that way. You don't undo the buttons at all. It is a decorative but functional feature. And I made a pair from Felicity Fabrics Red Denim, which is the picture I've put up here, and they're the wide leg version. And then I also made some red ones out of a sort of a flipper fabric, which I think that's what it's called. It's like a polyester, and I had it in grey, red, and also I have got it in grey here. And these have been cut out since I made these red ones, which is forever ago. And then summer came, and I stopped making trousers essentially. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reminding myself how to make these trousers. So I just randomly bought one piece down of all these things so you can see what it's made of, and then they are actually cut out. So you can see there, look, that's the waistband piece for the left side, and you've got so one on the left and then one on the right, and obviously the meat in the middle with the button and the zip. So I'm looking forward to making those because they are autumnal weight trousers, although they're quite fine, which is nice. I actually made the Pietra trousers out of this fabric a really long time ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't know what happened to them actually. They're not still in my wardrobe, so I must have gifted them to someone because they're not there now. I think it's because the Pietra trousers, I've got a really flat bum, and the Pietra trousers just hung off me on my backside. I saw recently actually a flat bum adjustment video. I should have kept it. If you've seen one, let me know, because I do need to do that really on trousers, because there's nothing on my behind at all. But anyway, so that's make number one. Not necessarily going to happen in that order, because you'll see in a little while I'm a little bit more excited about some of the other things I've got planned. The next one is also something you will have heard me talk about probably a couple of videos ago. They're all attached, that's helpful, along with my Viki Sews pattern haul that I did recently. That was probably only about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I suppose. But again, because I'd because I'd ordered the wrong size of the Viki Sews patterns, I ended up putting together, just literally basting together a waistcoat, and discover that I had ordered the wrong size. But luckily for me, Viki Sews gave me the right size, and so I'm going to make a waistcoat that is intended to be worn as a top. Now, how that will play out in winter, I don't know, but you'll see in a second. I hopefully have a solution for that. It does tell you, so clever, oh my word, the instructions for Viki Sews patterns. Oh, very good. They're very detailed. They don't hold your hand instructions, but they are very thorough. Sorry, it's second week of wearing my new glasses so I'm still trying to work out where I'm looking and stuff, but I like them. Thank you for your comments about them. But I'm making a black waistcoat using a sort of a black twill. Now, it's a bit of a patchwork black twill, because I'd already cut out one waistcoat and then I didn't have enough black fabric. This is prior to my Birmingham trip. Didn't have enough black fabric to make the waistcoat again, so I sort of reused certain bits of what I'd already cut out, but it's all black twill, but it's a different piece of black twill. And then the lining is out of this beautiful sort of cotton linen that I got from Rainbow Fabrics many moons ago. So it's going to be black on the outside and then zebra print on the inside. Nobody will see that. Yes, I'm looking forward to that actually. It's quite complex, and I can tell you now, why haven't I made this before? Because they were due to go with the shorts that I showed you last week. I haven't made this before because this has got a welt pocket on it. Never made a welt pocket before. Don't really understand the instructions, if I'm honest. I just haven't had this headspace to just crack on and have a go. Does that ever happen to you guys? Do you ever have like, I got sort of like a sewing paralysis over it, because I just know I can make all these other things, but this is stuck, keeps rotating to the bottom because I just haven't got on with it. I have actually YouTubed, as you do, of course, a welt pocket, and there are much more simpler ones to do than the one I've got on the Viki Sews. But I think to myself, I should give myself a chance with the Viki Sews one. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I hope to get it made, because I do love the idea of a waistcoat in winter. Would be amazing. And I think that would be, it could be a really staple thing, because I'm a lady of a, I think I've got quite a large chest size. I'm a 34F in a sort of a standard M&S size, so it's quite a big cup size. And I absolutely love having something over the top of my chesticle area, particularly in winter, if you know what I'm saying. Particularly if I've got a tighter top on underneath, I much prefer to not have anything on show. So I think a waistcoat could be a really good solution for me going into winter, not least because it's an additional insulating layer, isn't it? So I'm looking forward to that, all bar the welt pocket scenario. I did think about maybe just not doing the welt pockets, but the construction is it's it's amazing actually, the construction, but you've actually got a slit in the front panel pieces ready for where the welt pockets goes. So I have to go with the flow on that. The next one I'm super excited about, not least because it's a piece of fabric that Liz, the baker that sews, kindly gifted to me. She very kindly went through her fabric stash before we met at Kew Gardens recently, and very, very kindly gave me 3 pieces of beautiful fabric. I will show you the other 2 pieces in a future video, no doubt, but she gave me this glorious fabric. It's a viscose, obviously in pink and red, which is such a lovely combination. I absolutely adored it. I did say to her, I was like, oh my goodness, that'd make an amazing sagebrush top. But she was adamant she was never going to use it, and wanted it to go to a good home, which is so sweet of her. So thank you, Liz. And I was going to make a sagebrush top because you know I love that, and I know I would have got a lot of wear out of it. But then Tilly and the Buttons released their latest pattern, the Marnie top and dress, which I'm sure you've heard about, but I've got the stock photo in here. Now the Marnie top and dress has got the most beautiful pleating detail across here and across this section of each sleeve. And I thought in this beautiful fabric, I really would see the detail of the pleats very well. So I have Liz very kindly gave me a 2-metre piece. Now the Marnie top, I'm going to make a size 4, which is 1 size down from the my measurements. But if you look at the amount of ease in the top, it's still going to be an oversized top on me. I probably could even gone down 1 more, but I didn't want to risk it. It says 2.5 metres, but I managed to get the Marnie top out of 2 metres of fabric with very little to spare, I have to say. And I've also cut on the cross grain as well as on the grain, so it'll be fine. But yeah, that's what I've done, so I'm really looking forward to that. And you can tell by this level of enthusiasm, but that this is likely to come before this or this. Does that happen to anybody else? Oh my word, I know. But yes, so I literally was cutting this out on Friday night, or not Friday night, anyway, one night this week. Yeah, I was cutting that out, which was, yeah, pretty exciting. And then the last of the things I've cut out, I obviously had a massive amount of fabric come back with me from Birmingham. You might have noticed that. I promise you, I don't think I'm likely to have a fabric haul video for a little while. Although I have to tell you that Like So Amazing a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, I forget now, did this video about these recent viscoses they've got. I am so tempted. I mean, I didn't buy a lot of viscose, as you know, and I do love working with viscose. There's this particular fabric, it's this grey and light grey on the background, and then got dark grey and mustard flowers on it. It is haunting me. I actually, yeah, I need to buy it really. I think it's £8 a metre, something like that, which is amazing. I used to buy a lot of fabrics from Rainbow Fabrics, but their recent fabrics have gone up. I mean, I'm not begrudging the prices of their fabrics, I'm not. But when I first started buying from Rainbow Fabrics, they were like, I don't know, averagely £4.99 a metre. Went on there a couple of days ago, averagely £9.99 a metre. Now I know inflation is affecting everybody, but that's such a big step up. Whereas Like So Amazing seem to have an amazing selection of fabrics at very reasonable prices, as do a lot of retailers, obviously. That's a lot of waffle. So I came back from Birmingham with a lot of fabric, like jersey and things like that, and just prior to the Birmingham trip, these words, honestly, the Elysian bodysuit from Friday Pattern came out. I'll put the stock picture in here. And I haven't worn a bodysuit since I was about 18. They were all the rage. I do remember them being hot and sweaty and difficult to go into the loo in. So why I find myself cutting out an Elysian bodysuit, I have no idea. But I do love the idea of it. And I think when I'm wearing wearing dungarees or something, I think that could be a real solution to that whole sitting with almost no clothes on when you've got taking your dungarees off and stuff like that. So I'm reliably informed that you can move certain areas to one side to take a natural break and things like that, which is not something that occurred to me, but you could also put snaps in it in the appropriate places too. And the fabric I've decided to make my first Elysian, because I'm hoping I'm going to be able to make, and I really enjoy wearing more than just one, is out of this glorious rib jersey that I got. I can't remember actually if I got this, because I bought several pieces quite similar. I can't remember if this is Barry's Fabrics or whether it was the Rag Market. I've got a feeling this particular one was Barry's, and it was only £2 a metre, I think, which is an absolute steal. This piece, this looks like the back piece. So it's got a really nice, leg height on it here. The scoop on the bodysuit is actually quite low, so that suits my style really well actually, because it's more flattering for me to have an open neck with my chesticles and things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Again, that seems to have more enthusiasm than trying to hit a welt pocket. So, but come on, the vision of a bodysuit with a waistcoat over the top, matching, with black jeans or something. I think that just sounds really cool for autumn. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into all of these makes. I'd love to know what you think. I love hearing from you. You know that. Please pop me a comment in. Don't forget to subscribe whilst you're there and all that sort of stuff. So I hope you're staying safe and well. Next up, I've probably got, actually I'm not sure what I've got coming up next. Probably some more makes and ideas, because a lot of these things, well obviously not this because it's brand new, but a number of these things have actually been in my head for a long time and already stacking up in there somewhere. Lots of ideas for autumn, and by the time I get to that video, I imagine the weather will have changed. So I'm probably going to do a collection of ideas I've got for my jersey fabrics that I recently got at Birmingham. So maybe I'll pull together my top favourite jerseys, jersey patterns. I would love to hear from you actually, in terms of what sort of videos you'd love to see me do. So please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you've got any video ideas, anything you'd like me to talk about or show you. I'm not hugely brilliant at doing how-to videos, like sew-alongs, that sort of thing. They are hugely time consuming, but if you're desperate for me to do one of those, I will. Maybe I'll do a chat whilst I sew video or something like that. Right you are, that's enough for me today. Have a great weekend everybody, and until next time, take care, bye.